Decoration near the entrance to the main hall. Some of the paintings on exhibition.
The door is open? The door is open, yes. Last time I was here, it was open. Are you already
View from the Toronto Tower.
Check it out. Pretty high.
Lake Ontario.
Quite a view, though. You see a long way. Yeah. Clear day. Very clear day. Oh, yeah. We can watch it later.
View of the Sheraton Center Hotel on the tower. That's where we stayed. Toronto Tower. Double-decker trains in Toronto. Some cars in Toronto. This is where I'm staying.
all of your valuables inside the windows. This means your heads and your cameras and your friends and even, yes, your family members. The reason why they use gold windows is because gold is a good insulator of heat. So in the wintertime, the windows will heat the inside of the building. Memorabilia. You'll also find here the Lord Stanley Cup, and that's the official trophy of the National Hockey League. So Canada is, hockey rather, is Canada's favorite sport, but it is not the official sport of Canada. It is lacrosse, but hockey was invented. Why is it?
The longest street in Canada.
Oh, close, the longest street in the world.
Sorry.
No worries, it's okay. So it's the biggest street, or longest street, and it spans a distance of 1,187 miles, or Hudson's Bay Company, the oldest chain of department stores in Canada, and it was founded in the 1600s. Now, a few years ago, they actually transformed or changed the outside of the building to make it look like Madison Square Gardens, which is in New York City. And they used this building to film a movie or more expensive. So if you love to go window shopping, go and visit the top level. There's a lot of nice stores there. You'll see a lot of the mall is made out of glass. And that's because the person who designed it, she wanted to give shoppers the illusion of being outside when really they're indoors. When you go in the mall, you'll see a lot of natural sunlight, a lot of plants and water fountains. And that is fantastic. And this here is the Dundas Square. This is Toronto's meeting place. And we host here lots of different events throughout the summer seasons. In July and August, we show free movies at nighttime once a week. All you do is free. It's a 6-hour drive away. You can get there by taking the Coach Canada bus for $10. Usually it's $150. 400 years old. You might want to go and check out the city there. Now, our Bay Street here is the main street that leads into Toronto's financial district. So if you want to look straight ahead, everyone, you'll see a bunch of high-rise buildings. Now, that area is where you'll find all the bigger men. In designing this building, he was given a budget of $600,000. And he got a bit carried away and went over budget by more than $2 million. Now, that, of course, did not sit well with the politicians. And they told the architect he would never be allowed to design the city ever again. And that really upset the architect. So what he did in response was, he made a bunch of ugly-looking gargoyles, and he put them all over the roof of the building. And he said to the politicians, every morning when you go to work, you'll see what I think of you, ugly-looking gargoyles. And surprisingly, the architect did go on to create and design other buildings in Toronto, like the King Edward Hotel, the Vassar Hall Theatre, and it's hosted by a Canadian singer named Nelly Furtado. Who here on the bus has already gone to visit the CN Tower? A few of you? Now, who here, though, was brave enough to stand on the glass floor? Good for you. So right now, everyone, we've made our way onto University Avenue. It's the largest avenue in the city. We have 4 lanes going northbound and 4 lanes going southbound. And up the middle here, we have a boulevard. And on it, there are different water features and different flowers and plant life and water monuments. And that's what makes it look so pretty. Now, if you have any Americans on board, coming up outside your window on your left-hand side, we're going to pass by the American consulate here in Toronto. Which reads the Royal Canadian Military Institute. And that's a private members-only war museum we have in Toronto. And they're known for housing the largest collection of military firearms. If you won't look straight ahead, you'll see some flags on the boulevard. The one directly in front of us, the blue one there, is the Toronto flag. The flag is blue. There's a white T in the middle for the T Toronto, and in the middle there's Canada Maple Leaf, which is the Canadian emblem. It only had 6 bedrooms into this building that we see here today. As well, a very popular actress of silent films named Mary Pickford, she was born here. Our second hospital is outside your window on your left-hand side. It's known as the Mount Sinai, and they specialize in women and infant health care. It's also where 70% of the Toronto babies get delivered. Is also on your left-hand side, known as the Princess Margaret. They specialize in research and treatment for oncology. And every year there was these big lotteries, and we give away prizes like homes, boats, cars, and trips and vacations, all to you'll find the politicians of Ontario. Now, at one point in time, this area of land used to house a mental institution. And if you ask anyone in Toronto, they will tell you they believe that inmates took over the asylum and those are the politicians of today. And sadly, it's very true. Not much has changed. Our politicians, they do crazy things from time to time. Nowadays, though, this area of land is part of the University of Toronto, and so the politicians here, they're paying this university a sum of $1 per year as rent, so just the way they like it, nice and cheap. It's open to the public. This past weekend we hosted the 20th annual Afro Fest. It was a free event. The park here is home to many of the black squirrels that are indigenous to the city of Toronto. I hear they're very common though in different parts of the world. Other events that we host here include a book festival known as Word on the Street, during which we promote literacy. And also every year in the springtime we host here a very local protest known as the Marijuana March. It's not used as a dormitory. When it first opened up, it was used for students studying Catholicism. On our left-hand side, there's a large clock tower right behind us, and that is the Soldiers Tower, and that was put up for the students and the professors who left school to go fight in World War I, and those students' names are inscribed in the stone. Now, if you will look straight edges, nowadays though, they're just used for different faculties of study, and the two main fields of study at the school are in science and medicine. Now, like I said, this school is the biggest in Canada. It's actually even older than Canada. This school opened up in 1827, but Canada only became a nation in 1867. Now, we've also used the school to film different movies in cinema. We have the Beautiful Chickens on your left, just down by the traffic light there, on top of the name St. George Street, tells you that you're in Toronto Discovery District. So this area is where you'll find the Royal Ontario Museum, the Art Gallery of Ontario. That's where students discover the theatre district, and we also look for cultured neighborhoods. So right now, everyone, we've left the campus. We're heading down another small street. This here is known as Beverly Street. If you look at the street signs in this area, you'll notice that the street names here are written in English and in Chinese character. And that's because right now we're on the outside of Toronto's little Chinatown. Just outside your window on my side, we have this older house called the George Brown House, built for a man named George Brown, and he was the creator of the Globe newspaper. Now, we only lived here for about 2 years. Now, Toronto's Chinatown is the third largest in North America, following after Vancouver and San Francisco. TV, where we broadcast Toronto's nightly news, or morning news rather, it's called Breakfast Time. It has a name, and this here is... Now, King Street East, in that direction, is where you find Toronto's Theatre District. You'll find that the two biggest theatres of Toronto. They include the Royal Alexander and the Princess of Wales, and that's where they're putting on the productions of Dirty Dancing and The Sound of Music. Now, if you're going to be in the city for the next little while, you just want to know what's going on, you can either go online to toronto.com, they'll tell you about the various events, or you can pick up 2 free newspapers that we put out every Thursday. They include the I and the Now, and they are entertainment newspapers. And they'll give you suggestions as to where to go for dinner, where to go dancing, where to hear live music, what's going on in the comic clubs, what's happening in the theaters, and where the fun free events are. If you will look inside the window on my side, we're going to see something wild. So on your left, there's stuff of Toronto. Underneath us, there we have the train trains known as the GO train. We also have the Vito Rail, which is Canada's leading railroad company. You'll see as well there's a lot of construction in the city. On your left-hand side, beside us, is the area of land. They are building underwater. So that means that we're getting very close to today's water portion of the tour. So my next question is, can you all swim? Hopefully you can. Now the road here in front of us, everyone, it's an ordinary road used by everyone in Toronto. But in the past years, the month of July, we would turn this road in front of us into a racetrack. And that is when we would host the annual Molson Navy Grand Prix car race. Now, every year as well in Toronto, we host a big Caribbean festival known as Caravana, and this road is where they host their annual street parade. To Canada. On top of the archway, there is a figurine. Her name is Nike, and she is the winged goddess of victory. And that's where the Nike Shoe Company got their name from. And this archway acts as the entrance into the Canadian National Exhibition. And what that is an annual fair that runs from mid-August to Labor Day in September. And during the year, the different buildings here are used for different events. We'll host here an out-of-water boat show, a home show, a garden show, a fashion show. You'll also find here the Medieval Times Dinner Theater, and we'll have a casino. We'll see some more water. So we will be getting to the water really quickly, but before we do so, some water safety precautions to go over. Now, in the event of an emergency, you'll all be happy to know that the windows here are the emergency exits. All we have to do is jump out of the windows if need be. At the back of the bus, we have a 45-person life raft, which we're going to flow into the water. And underneath everyone's seat, you'll find that we have 2 life preservers. And they look exactly like this one right here. You do not need to put them on, but I'm going to show you how just in case. So here's the life preservers. All you do is stick your head in the keyhole, tie the small straps on your chin, take the longer ones, and you wrap those straps around your waist, and then you tie a knot on your waist, a knot on the preserver. Now, we've never had to use any of our emergency equipment, so it's safe to say we're all in good hands. So we are ready to make our splash into the water. Now I think though our hippo needs a bit of encouragement. So on the count of 3, we're all going to shout out, "Go, hippo, go." And that will get us from the land and straight into the water. And the louder we are, the bigger the splash. So are you ready, everyone? Yeah. All right, let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Go! So there you have it, everyone. We are now
bus.
in the water and we're cruising as a boat.
This is the first time.
Catherine is our captain and I'm your first
riding
mate. If you have
an
the camera with you
amphibious
and like a picture of
first.
Toronto, there's a beautiful view of the city outside your window on my side. And also now that we're in the water, if you want, you can stand up and test out your sea legs. The back door is open. You can go back there as well and take a picture if you'd like. So I'll give you a few moments to have a look around and stretch your legs, and then I'll continue with my commentary. by and amuse and park along the waterfront. This is known as Ontario Place. It opened up in the 1970s, and it was a gift given to us by the government of Ontario, and this was their idea of sprucing up our waterfront. So the whole theme park here has been made on man-made islands. And they have lots of fun things to do here to keep cool when it's hot in Toronto. They've got water slides, they have wave pools, and rubber boats, and paddle boats, a lot of ways especially enjoyed as well. Two other theme parks include Central Island on the Toronto Island. And we also have Canada's Wonderland, which is just outside of the downtown area. And it's more geared for older people who love roller coasters. Beside your window on my side, just this side, is known as Hero the Third. It has a jet ski on the bottom and a hot tub on its top deck. A boat like this one would cost about $1.5 million. These are more like summer cottages. People live here all summer long. Now, it's very expensive though to keep your boat in this area of water. It is $100 per foot of your boat per month. So on average, it's about $5,000 a month. But I'm thinking, if you can afford to buy a boat that looks like the ones that we see here today, I'm pretty sure you have enough money to have them here to begin with. Beside your window on your left, we're passing by the backstage to a concert venue. It's known as the Molson Amphitheater. It opened up in the 1990s. This is where musicians and artists will hang out or do an interview before they go on stage and do their shows. So everyone who has a boat here in the summertime, they get to see the musicians all for free. One of my favorite boats is outside your window on my side. It's the Precious Lady. This one right here. I like to think it's named after me. To see, but on the other side of the boats, we have our soccer stadium. It's an outdoor venue with red chairs. It's the BMO Field, home to the Toronto Football Club. It's also where they hosted the FIFA World Cup of Soccer last summer. On your left, you'll get a view of the concert in the summertime. Looks like they're setting up for a concert. Don't know who's playing here though. Oh, John Mayer is playing here. He's dating Jennifer Aniston. A few weeks ago, we had the Dave Matthews Band play here at the concert hall. We also had Sheryl Crow and Eric Clapton. We had Cyndi Lauper and the Indigo Girls. And before that... Now, if you look around, you'll see on top of the water, we have a bunch of these pods on stilts. The one in front of us, made out of glass windows, is the Atlantis Pavilion. This here opened up as a really popular disco or dance club. Nowadays it's a popular banquet hall. The reason why it's so popular is because inside of the venue, they have a rotating or a revolving dance floor. So if you don't like to go dancing but you're dragged to an event here, all you really have to do is stand on the dance floor, look like you're having a good time, and you let the floor do the rest of the work for you. On your left-hand side, everyone, you'll see a large white theater. Now, the IMAX theater is a Canadian invention. Some other Canadian inventions include the sport of hockey, the sport of basketball, the baseball glove. We also invented pablum or baby formula, the zipper. The hippo that we're on is also a Canadian invention. So is the very famous push-up bra. And soon after that, we had to create the pacemaker. I wonder why. Summertime. We use it for the water portions of our tours. Rowers will come down here though to practice their rowing. We also host here dragon boat races, a fireworks display competition, a Chinese lantern festival, and at the end of the summer we host a big annual air show. So people love to come down here because there's always something going on. Now along the waterfront you'll see there's a pathway, no one's really on it right now. It's known as the Martin Goodman Trail, and it's a pathway that runs through Toronto and into the suburbs. So people who live outside of the city, they can make their way downtown or even to the water by simply walking or biking using the various pathways.